In my Discord, as well as a variety of places on YouTube, I actually get asked a lot about different really powerful feats and really powerful moments and events inside DC, just in general, not even like about a specific character or place or anything. Most of the time I tell everyone like, hey, just check out some Crisis events. There's some pretty wild stuff that happens in them. I mean, check out Death Metal specifically. It goes absolutely ham, or like Superman Beyond. There's some really interesting stuff that exists whenever it comes to just raw, crazy, powerful feats and stuff whenever it comes to DC. But today I'm actually here to talk about a rather unknown one, thanks to Morningstar Edits, actually a guy who hit me up on YouTube. He wanted a full presence scaling, but that's a whole different story and a whole different argument. But what I will say is I'm here to talk today about one of the more underrated feats of incredibly powerful characters, specifically ones that don't get mentioned by every YouTuber, every person that exists. But are high-end beings inside DC actually the hype, or are they just statement guys? What's up, guys? It's me, Lumos Theromax, and today we're here to talk about some of the most underrated feats that not a lot of people know about within DC continuity. And be sure to like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll have more down the way. I got music videos, full-on scaling videos like the Cosmic Armor Superman Thought Robot video that is coming out on Sunday for you all. Although, to be fair, you could access it now if you became a member, so check the link down low and become a member. You get free perks, and it's pretty cool to hang out. Just saying. But let's get straight into it, man. I want to tell you guys about this crazy-ass story that takes place in Dr. Fate number 5. During Dr. Fate 1998, issues 5 and 6, we have the Night of Brahma storyline coming to conclusion finally. And I'm going to give you some extra subtext because the other 4 or 5 issues of this are just, they're not as fun or as interesting whenever it comes to this. But basically we have this really crappy vampire called Andrew Bennett. He's wildly powerful, but he's basically the vampire version of Hank Henshaw, Cyborg Superman. He just wants to die, okay? And he went through all sorts of things, including talking to higher beings such as the Lords of Order, and then the Masters of Chaos, all sorts of shit. He does a little bit of everything. And essentially the Lords of Order convince him down the way to drink this specific drink that will end all of creation. It'll return everything to the mahaprayala, or like the Great Darkness, for example. And this guy hates himself so much. He says he's doing it for everyone else, but really he's doing it for himself. He just wants to die. So he drinks this, and we watch everything in creation slowly fade to black. Turns out they actually weren't lying. He genuinely will destroy all of creation by doing this. The darkness is representative of being in the Great Darkness, or the mahaprayala, the way it's described inside this story. And something interesting to consider is that at this point in time, Andrew Bennett's the only survivor of everything in existence. I find myself asking things now, yo, how is this not a crisis event? How have we not brought this up before? This is like wild, okay? Every crisis event, they're threatening for this kind of scenario to happen. And weirdly enough, it's very similar to the story that was used for the actual being called Prayala down the way. The only difference is like, clearly we have success here and no one's stopping them afterwards. Like the Great Darkness won GG. Now, as he begins to freak the hell out thinking, wait a minute, I destroyed the entire multiverse. I can't die? Rip off. And he begins to complain thinking, yo, if I can't even die inside the Great Darkness, there's no hope for me dying. And just as he says that, he gets yelled at from somewhere else, and in the Great Darkness, it's kind of hard to tell where anything is. But Dr. Fate actually survived. Dr. Fate's like, bro, you f***ing idiot. You killed everything in creation. I'm gonna murder you. And then he realizes, well, F. And he begins to laugh because if the multiverse exploding didn't kill him, and the Great Darkness can't kill this guy, how could Dr. Fate destroy him? Like, that's completely insane. And Andrew Bennett even comments on this. He's like, bro, what the hell? I don't get how we're here. This doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not this powerful. And they both stand in the infinite nothingness that simply exists. And as they say, thoughts die, words fail, life has lost any meaning it's had at this point in time with the nothingness that exists now. They both feel something, not with their bodies, not with their physical senses, and also not with their minds, but with something almost in an intuitive way beyond any form of normal senses beings even such as Dr. Fate could possibly comprehend. Why would that be impressive? Dr. Fate, A, is in the Great Darkness right now, but maybe he's being carried. But this guy can pretty much roll through every realm inside the multiverse as far as we are aware, and it's not the end of the universe to him. So that's pretty insane. But this feeling, this intuitive feeling, gets stronger and stronger, and this smile forms. And this smile is something beyond them. Something in the great darkness they don't understand, bewitching, bewildering. They've seen it before, but they never fathomed something of this scale. What did they call it? They called it the smile behind the universe. Why is that relevant? Well, because the universe inside this context oftentimes is an allegory for the multiverse as a whole. Plenty of writers actually use those terms synonymously. And they even go further on to say beyond the mahaprayala, beyond the great darkness. Yo, what? This is crazy town, okay? That's a big boy statement, all right? Big if true. But this smile begins expanding and broadening, and just as it expands and broadens, even their understanding of everything seemingly grows as well. From the smile comes something. Fire, the breath of life. In fact, they witness the creation of everything, the very act of creation. What do you mean by that? Well, it spits out the fire. The fire becomes a yin and yang, representing dualities themselves. Now, keep in mind, the light and the darkness that we had seen before, the smile and the mahaprayala, they're not concepts like light and darkness. They're beyond those things. As the smile had spit out the yin and yang represents duality, and it splits in half in representing light and darkness from that moment on. Pleasure, pain, man, woman, order, chaos, etc., 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 which is exactly how we got here in the first place with the Lords of Order and the Lords of Chaos. However, even those things come from the smile, come from the creator of everything that exists, that does here. It explodes, but not an explosion of power, but weirdly enough, of love. Looking upon the energies that are unleashed from the duality that came from the smile, they continuously devolve themselves into every foundational energy that exists within the confines of DC. Words that represent things and concepts they knew are dead, and suddenly are expressed in ways that are beyond even their comprehensions. Shapes, forms, energies, just like the ocean, although vague at first, seemingly encompass everything. And anything that was inside creation is being reborn. Beings of flesh, beings of light, entire worlds, entire universes, everything emerging from the sea of love that the smile seemingly grants. This sea of love is no more than drops from the divine, evolving anything, stone, vegetable, bird, man, it didn't matter. Everything was coming to existence, and for some reason, Fate and Andrew Bennett the vampire had been chosen to bear witness to this event. Together they stand just outside in the mahaprayala, witnessing everything happening in front of them, yet they still feel linked to everything that's going on, the love, to everyone that exists inside creation, to light, breath, duality, explosions, form, universe upon universe, everything that is happening before their eyes, and within their individual hearts, even inside the great darkness. The human heart echoing the universal heart, the human mind echoing the universal mind. All that we see outwardly existing simultaneously within, just like them. Words, language, ineffectual, worthless to the event that they are seeing. And just as fast as the energies had flocked to creation, the energies return, forming themselves into different things, different representations. Light, darkness, order, chaos, duality. Becoming the yin and yang once more, fusing, and then it becomes flames yet again, and the flames return to the smile. The smile that couldn't be understood by anyone. A smile that could only be loved. And Dr. Fate and Andrew Bennett realize the old smile was someone who had always been around. They were always just blind to it. But now they see. Now they see the smile. And both Andrew Bennett and Dr. Fate smile. Dr. Fate through his fucking mask, or through his helmet, okay? That's wild. Why do they smile? Because creation springs forth from the mouth of God itself. Another reference to this potentially being the presence. Let it dissolve in his fiery breath, because nothing matters. For behind it all, beyond it all, and within it all, the smile remains. Well, creation was destroyed in this situation, right? Well, you're not wrong on that. That's really impressive. That's not something that hasn't happened before, but it is something really interesting to note here because you could read this one of two specific ways, and I'll give you the details on that, okay? So in scenario 1, we have a similar situation to the original Crisis on Infinite Earths, where a crisis event occurs, the heroes could not stop it, the entire multiverse was entirely destroyed, and they had to recreate it afterwards. That original multiverse that was destroyed, the carcass of that falls into the Great Darkness, and essentially just exists there now. And Empty Hand and Gentry, feed on that from this point on. Now, this would make sense. But there's one flaw with this perspective. Unlike what happened with Multiverse 2, the original Crisis on Infinite Earths multiverse, there was still fragments of existence that came to be inside the Great Darkness. Like, it was just kind of floating around like a dead and decayed like multiverse. Kind of like those events in Doctor Strange with that universe that just kind of got nuked, but everything was dark around it. But the major issue at hand is the fact that we just don't see anything, which shows me that it may be even superior to anything we had seen before. So if you wanted to take the highball with this, let's say that in this act they genuinely doomed the entire greater omniverse or the entire overvoid. All multiverses were destroyed, everything was dragged inside of the Great Darkness itself, the mahaprayala. Now, this would be wild, okay? This would genuinely be crazy. This would be one of the biggest feats ever, and this is also something that Empty Hand actually had a similar plan for inside, what was it, Justice League Incarnate? Yeah, so it would be even similar to that in all reality, but actually happening, not just him trying to make happen. So we have proof the Great Darkness itself can just subsume all of creation in its light, and as a matter of fact, the last time it showed up in Swamp Thing 50, nobody really could stop him from our main DC multiverse, so that's pretty rip. But either one of these I could see is viable. So either he just dragged in the entire multiverse, which, like I said, that's Crisis event level, and that goes to one of the toppest tier events inside all of DC, or he dragged in everything inside the greater Omniverse, and if he did that, that's insane. But even on that second one, the Presence did create everything in the first place, so it would make sense he could just create everything again in the exact same fashion, form, and function that it was before, as he is all things come from him, and thus he knows how all things are. So, really interesting stuff in the story. Be sure to tell me what you liked down low in the comment section. This was just supposed to be a quick, fun video, and here I am, already pushing past 13 minutes, so, who knows, man. Hopefully the editing for this doesn't shave out too much of it, or maybe I do hope it, because this is getting a little wild, man. But this is going to be my first attempt at my quicker, more fun content where I just narrate some stuff, I throw some scans on screen, and it's not nearly as hardcore as my other videos, like my hardcore scaling videos. But if you want to see more content like this, and you want to see me cover more content like this, become a member down low, and we'll hang out down the way. But with no further ado, I hope you guys have a great day, and just remember, no matter how bad your day is, no matter how shitty things are for you, the smile is always watching, always caring. Later, Lanterns.